welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video on fast fashion, okay? And because basically I'm in the middle of trying to get my shop going, and I don't think that all retail should be to blame. Like, you shouldn't demonize all retail because as much as, so I'm going to kind of encompass a couple of things to do with whether society's greed overall, especially in first world countries, um, is kind of the overall problem here, or whether like just about the greed in first world countries and how they basically get to the point where the governments are so greedy at the top that they steal off the poor, or they corrupt systems to fuck over people in the name of money. And then at the top, they're all really depressed anyway because they're overwhelmed with karmic guilt, let's put it that way, and karmic depression because they ruined so many people's lives. So really, it's a lose situation because I've seen it firsthand. I've seen rich people, really hate their lives because they're so just overcome with bad karma, basically, because they're fucking everyone over by doing so. It's really kind of, I think I've been in the place throughout my spiritual awakening of acknowledging my karmic footprint, if you will, on the world, in what I can, perceive of the world at the moment. And in that, because obviously, if you're gonna freak out about like I can't leave the house, like there's it's about taking it for what it is. Like, you can't be like, I can't leave the house because I'm going to tread on some ants and that's bad karma because I'm killing a living being. I'm in the process of being a vegetarian at the moment, at least temporarily. I did a shorts on it because I watched a video about animal cruelty and that was really like hitting for me. But as I say, I've seen a couple of videos about sweatshops. I saw 222 on my timer lol. It keeps happening to me. I don't know if I've posted all my videos where that's happened, but 222 means basically enjoy the moment or something. I think be in the moment. So there's a sense of thinking there's a benefit to simply living, and lockdown, if it has shown me anything, is that simple life and being able to breathe and being able to experience nature, adequate enough food, nutrition, adequate enough being, it doesn't have to be 5 a day every day, but to have enough money for food and to be able to feed yourself, and have shelter and have friendships and relationships that suit you is one of the most important things. But to be self-sufficient and not need other people necessarily. Everyone's different and more individualistic than other people, but it's like basically that the basics are the most important thing. That's what it's taught me. But yeah, onto fast fashion. Like, it's made me really consider, like, because being someone that like is really into shopping, I consider that like my 333 again. 333 means the spiritual realm is surrounding you. So it's made me really like go into my spirituality as well. Seeing people, I'm kind of tangenting a few things, but I will literally like get back onto the topic of fast fashion. But I wanted to give a bit of like grounding as well. Like, it's made me go into spirituality a bit more, seeing how people disregard spirituality altogether. And part of your recognizing your karmic footprint and stuff, some people aren't able to self-reflect and they're unwilling to self-reflect. I'm not just talking about narcissists here, I'm talking about reptilian influence, people that really don't care to help people and genuinely want chaos for other people. They are around, and they're in high places, and they cause a lot of damage, and they are in places of fast fashion as well. But it's made me really see, when I see the injustices, especially in first world countries as well, because I'm not aware if I'm not seeing third world countries' injustices. It's easy to live in ignorance to injustices because you don't see it, you don't look for it, or you don't care to actually see like what it is that I don't know, you don't want to acknowledge it for what it is. But I think knowledge is power, knowledge is key to seeing things like this and wanting to move to a better world. So not that I can sit here behind my camera, but I think it's an important topic to discuss. Like, you know, I'm seeing all these sweatshops on these videos, and it's like when people don't expose the truth, and when people are just like hiding behind lies, like you know, I've mentioned a couple of times that I've become a bit of a minimalist recently since moving house. And like loads of my stuff I just chucked out because I just didn't want to pay to move it. And now I'm just so much happier with like the basics because I don't have too much clutter. Like I do need to go through my stuff and actually ditch all the clutter, to be fair, any other clutter that I have. Um, but yeah, it makes me really think of like what as a society many people are ignorant to. And you know, I do always consider that there is a train of thought to think, you know, do like would the average person go nuts if they were aware of all the injustices that happened? And my answer to that is no. You know, it's not necessarily that you need to dwell on it, and obviously people care most about their families, but as a collective and as a world, we are going to shit. Like, you know, everything is unjust at the moment, and people, there's not enough people standing up for the injustices. I'm sure they're around, but it's when people don't expose the injustices and people just live in pure blind ignorance to it. It really stresses me out. Or it doesn't stress me out. I have to not let it stress me out. But yeah, sweatshops are a real problem. Like in third world countries, basically they like get illegal sweatshops where they're paying people next to nothing. I've seen some women having to make like 600 units worth of clothing, paid like £2 a day, and if they didn't make those 600 units, they wouldn't be paid at all. And 2 months of her wage had been ran off with because the managers ran off with 2 months of their wage. So that's only like whatever that is, like £120. They just ran off with it, where they'd been making 600 units a day and they were awake from 4 o'clock till 12 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. They didn't even get paid for it. And these places are going under the radar and being sold out to people. These people that work these sweatshops, they sell them to the likes of, you know, consumers. To retailers who are basically obviously bumping up the prices massively. And let's not forget as well, anything that's not sold will just end up in landfill as well. They won't recycle it. Most consumers, maybe some of them do, but they end up in landfill. They don't go to the consumer. Sorry for that noise. I don't really know what it is. It's just a boiler or something. I remember from work, I think. But yeah, it's really really bad. But not even so much about the landfill. It's about the illegal. It's illegal. The illegal sweatshops, like that consumers are literally buying into their house. People have written like "help me," and like I have problem. Like I have like severe like health problems in this sweatshop. Please like give me help, because people were being and the girl I just spoke about was basically forced to sleep in this sweatshop as well. She didn't have a bed. You have to sleep at her desk and wake up at 4 o'clock to do, and she's lived like that 7 days a week. Like, imagine that, you know. And it's pretty horrendous. Like, you know, that shouldn't happen. And then she started a company. She was trying to, basically her circumstances was where she was trying to escape child marriage. That's what her family wanted her to do. Ran off to, and then got this job. So that's what she was running away from. And then someone else tried to force her into child marriage somewhere else. She escaped that, but she made a massive company to actually sell to train people up fairly and pay them fairly. You know, these people to actually get a fair wage in places, and built a company basically that was pretty much the opposite, with good stable working conditions and happy workers and staff, to actually you know, pay a fair wage and get a fair, you know, outcome. Apparently is the story, but that really shouldn't happen. And the retailers are being illegal. This is what stresses me out about the legal system, is there's so much validated in the law, or in the you know, the justice system, blah blah blah, which lets people and And actually, the people at the top get away with murder pretty much, definitely. And then people at the bottom get screwed over for the sake of the benefit of the people at the top. And then they're quick to prison someone for life for something that was in a way justified, and understandable to a level, action they may have taken. And yet everyone at the top that is basically paying for child labour in another country and illegally, they're the ones that are making all their money and getting all the best lawyers and everything like that. It's completely messed up. And you've got to look out for this stuff because everything you do has a reaction, and I feel like more people need to be creating bills and creating laws in countries and places to actively stop this shit, because it does happen. But it's the fact of what fucked me off the most as well. I'm probably tangent in a bit here, but what's he called? What the fuck is his name? I can't remember. There's a guy on YouTube that went to Africa, right, and built about 100 wells in different areas. Or I just saw 11, 11, 11, 11. Basically, it's like angel numbers, isn't it? 11 is like an angel number. But he went over, when I started talking about this guy, I can't remember what he's called. I wish I remember what he's called. He's a really, really, really big YouTuber with like, I don't know, 30 mil subscribers or something. He went to Africa and bought and like made like hundreds of wells, right? He was the first person to do this of all the people, UNICEF and all that shit, that go on about fucking, bloody starvation and dehydration in these third world countries. He, a YouTuber, was the one that built wells all over Africa. He was the one that did it, because these people would have to walk hundreds and hundreds of miles to go off and get water. And it's like not hundreds of miles, but like 100 miles a month or whatever. They walk massive distance to get water. And it took a YouTuber to fuck off to Africa and actually build these wells, when all of these charities have been supposedly trying to help this problem for ages. It's crazy. And I can't remember how many wells he bought. I want to watch his videos again. He's obviously minted, but it's a fantastic idea to actually do that. And it makes me think, like, I want to fucking make some changes in this world. Do you know what I mean? Who says I can't? I don't know what that'll be, but it's not that hard to do. I think it's so important to have advocates for things. It's just so important, because this world is absolutely messed up, and it's messed up so badly. And there are so many things that people get away with that they shouldn't. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's just for people to make those changes, because it took a YouTuber to go and build all these fucking wells. Why the fuck has that not been done already? It's vile. The fucking a bloody 20-year-old YouTuber. It's crazy. So I can ramble on and on forever, but it's such a massive thing, like, no one is above the fucking line of being safe in this world. As I said, anything can fuck you over, and it does. It fucks a lot of people over, regardless of your circumstances or what you've been exposed to. We all get fucked over to one extent or another, but no one is above that, and they can delude themselves into thinking they're better than other people. They want, but it's just not the truth. So when they get some shit happening to them, it's just karma, because that's what happens to us all. Anyway, thanks for listening.